Okay, hi guys. So I am slightly on one because I didn't have breakfast because I had to go to the store to pick up a few things before I could even finish making my breakfast. And I saw my neighbor out because I live in some apartments. And she's a sweet old lady, and I thought to talk to her because I have my son with me and everything. And it's nice to say hi because she's a grandma and everything, and she's a nice lady, but and she's like basically about to die. So I'm like, oh, and I hardly ever see her out anymore, so I thought I'd say hi. And we got to talking about motherhood stuff and how that I hadn't slept very much recently, and that every once in a while he will be up a few times and has sleep regressions in certain periods. And she's like, where'd you learn that? Like, I wouldn't let him do that. And that was okay. He's like, you should ask your doctor, not like whatever source I was using. And like, that's all good and well. And she's like, talking about her daughter and her grandchild and how they're in Mommy and Me and stuff. And he's in babysitting in daycare or whatever, and Sunday school. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I like the Mommy and Me stuff, but I'm not into the daycare much because we still breastfeed, and he eats a lot, but he's mainly breastfed. And she's like, well, you gotta stop that. And like, the gut doctor I follow and have studied for a long time suggests breastfeeding for 2 years. And I agree that it's very important. And she just like, well, in these classes and stuff through the Mommy and Me group, they teach as soon as they start smacking and stuff that, or chewing, like they're chewing, that they should stop eating breast milk. And he's not even got teeth yet. He's finally pushing in one tooth, which is very kind of rarer for kids. And I think it's because of the fact that I do breastfeed him primarily, and the fact that I actually I haven't proven this, but I would like to prove whether or not, if you have the proper amount of dietary needs met through taking supplements such as or proper diet, like getting your iodine and magnesium and calcium and zinc, if that makes it to where they don't get teeth as soon, because then they're still breastfeeding longer, which is important for their gut health. And she's like telling me that he shouldn't be doing that, and it just flipped my lid a little bit, because I'm just like, Jesus, these freaking and that they're teaching this, that it's a healthy thing, when they're, and it's basically like cutting off the divine feminine's role as a mother to take care of her child, and weaning them early to where it's like basically cutting off their nutrients and your relationship as a mother, and then trying to make women, like, to me, it's part of this feminazi bullshit culture that's been fed to us, that, oh, you should go to work and stuff, and your kids, it's not healthy for your kids to like be dependent on your breast and stuff. No, like, you have a healthy balance of when you breastfeed and stuff, and you know what your relationship is with your kid, and or what you both need, and what he needs and what you don't need. There are certain times when you feed them, and there are certain times when you just lay the law down and say, no, you need to go to sleep, or no, you need something else. Because if you are in tune with your child enough and yourself, you will know their needs, and you won't have to rely on someone else's boundaries. So yeah, maybe some people, it's good for you to wean early. I doubt it, because I'm just saying it's better for their gut health. And today, that's one of the most, between sugar issues and gut, it's one of the most prevalent health issues that we have today is gut health. So between that and the basic neutering of the sacred feminine's job as a mother, the motherhood is what actually gives us maturity and access to our basically part of our that keeps us from going into midlife crisis and lets us be a woman fully. And for them to say that needs to be cut short really just grinds my gear today. So thanks for I will definitely go into more detail about why I believe the things I do, which if you don't know by now, which I have probably haven't mentioned, my mentor is C.S. Joseph, and I firmly believe in everything he teaches. I do try to fact check and do my own resource for myself, because I just don't try to just have people's beliefs put on me at random, or the cultural belief put on me, or the cultural system. So I try to question these things, because what feels right for me, what is true. And so for me, it's about what is actually true and what is the truth, finding the truth. And all of what he actually teaches through his podcast and YouTube is found to be the truth. And even if it's not, he will find the truth and he teaches it and will tell when he's wrong. And that's not something you have people doing a lot in today's culture. They want to go with a certain system and follow that and not see their blinds. They won't even admit them if they do. So I do follow that. And so that's where a lot of my personal values stem from. Not that he created them, that these are things that I found to be true before I even found his channel. These were things I was studying about in anthropology. I was studying about social economics and social values and constructs, and discovering these things for myself as a person, discovering values and what makes a healthy individual and what makes a healthy society. So it's not just random, this is the truth. This is fact that I've studied for myself, and facts that other people have found true and that are verifiable through resources. So pardon my rants. I might lose a few people, but you know what? If you can't agree, maybe I am wrong. And if I am, I'll admit that someday. But today, I'm not. And if I lose you, it's because I'm looking for high-value people on this channel, high-value people to subscribe to me. And if you have other values, that's on you. You can go to another channel. I am not offended at all. Like, I'm not going to leave your comments, likes, thumbs down, whatever, man. You do what you do you. But at the end of the day, I have very strong values, and I stand by them. And yeah, I say one size doesn't fit all, and that is true. But this is the reason why I posted about one size doesn't fit all, is because I understand that some people aren't ready to accept the truth, and some people need to learn what the truth is through their experience and through pain and through family, just basically family mess up and trial and error. That's on you. Find the truth for yourself. Look for it. Don't be just happy and like stagnant with what you've been given. Anyway, thank you again. Sorry for all the movement and light change, but as a movement type, Istp, little movement type. When I am frustrated or anxious, still haven't had breakfast yet either, Jesus, I tend to pace. So, you guys have a good day. Thanks. Okay, to finish out, here are two main things for both sides of the argument, for gut health argument and for the nature of the feminine argument. Okay, facts. I try not to argue, but that's what I just basically told her. I'm like, I appreciate the advice, but I'm gonna have to politely disagree. She's just like, well, okay, if you want a resource, I'm here, just in case, I'll let you know. So, still nice conversation. And I can have conversation with farmers about GMOs and like pesticides and still be polite about it because I have a good relationship with them. That's why I say one size doesn't fit all. Okay, back to the topic. Okay, for sacred feminine, it is the sacred feminine's job as a mother to make her children's life good and for her to take care of her children and to teach them. That's what the sacred feminine as the mother archetype does. She takes care of her children. And breastfeeding for 2 years, to the other side of the argument, our guts take thousands of years to adjust to any slight change. That means genetic structural change in, like, basically a GMO. What it is a genetic change in a plant. And our gut takes thousands of years to naturally adjust so that we can digest that different expression of genetics within a plant. Okay, think about that, right? Think about that fact. By the way, Perfect Health Diet book goes over this. If you want the resource, that's what it is. Also, as I mentioned, I follow CSJ, and a lot of the resources I will refer to, or the material and source material that I refer to, will be on either his page or his YouTube page. Both of them. Okay, so thinking about the fact that it takes our gut thousands of years just to adjust to one genetic strain, and the fact that our gut is basically still similar to what we would have had as Neanderthals almost, basically, or as cave people, and that we were hunter-gatherers, and that we didn't have much food that we processed or cooked a whole lot. If we did, it was very little because we didn't have the resources or tools to process that much. You think about a baby food, how much it takes energy it would take you as a hunter-gatherer to process that type of food to make it into mush. The only thing and what would be available up to us that was mush, and how much we would actually be feeding our children at, say, 1 or 2 years old. It's not gonna happen, people. What's gonna happen is you're gonna breastfeed until they have the teeth to actually process their own food, or until they start biting you, but you're still gonna feed them because otherwise they're gonna starve. So you think about our gut, it was not meant, and it's okay if you disagree, I appreciate it, but the facts say that our gut was not meant to be processing food full time at 1 year old. It just wasn't. I mean, my kid, as I said, doesn't even have teeth. Other kids maybe start at 3 months old, and maybe they have a full set at 1. So, but to say that as soon as they start smacking like they're chewing, they're not I feed my baby food that's almost already processed for him into tiny little chunks, because that's what what his pediatrician recommended, tiny little, because his throat is no bigger than this, so tiny little chunks or purees. You feed them that, feed them what you're eating, so they can pinch and get used to it. But I swear, it still comes out whole. They do not have the gut strength to be full-time eating without breast milk. They just don't. And if you want to set your kid up for a life of obesity, or at least a heightened rate of obesity, then okay, fine, wean your kid at 6 months. Do it. But realize that you are going to set your kid's health up for failure. Speaking of my child, I gotta get back to have a lovely day. Thank you again, guys, for watching and subscribing and liking or disliking or commenting. I'm up for a conversation, but, have a good day. Also, why I say it's not your job as a mother to wean your kids and to push them into manhood, because you're supposed to be the soft force. And boys or women, they get criticism from their father. They can be, and yeah, it's important for you to be strong as a mother and not just give in all the time. Know your boundaries and know your kids' boundaries. But the father is the one who's supposed to be pushing them a little bit more and turning them into a man, or creating that friction or that smooths the edges. You as a mother can teach that a little bit, but not primarily. If you disagree with me, that's okay. And I'm sure there are many, and of course there are exceptions with, say, same gender couples, but it's still going to be a harder thing and somebody is going to have to step up as the opposite gender force. So I know these rules are supposed to be like the whole non-binary thing, but biology speaks to a level that we need these roles within society so that we don't completely destruct and become or basically destruct ourselves. That's why we have these roles. It's not just because they're force-fed by society. It's because it's what keeps us as humans thriving and at the top of the food chain. Okay, final closing statement. Don't buy into this feminazi bullshit. It will be the destruction of our society. Have a good one.